your birthday.
Nothing.
Really? Why?
You.
You really didn't get anything?
I got a night here with you. What else could I ask for?
I thought we might go out after the game and I'd buy you.
You buying?
Oh yeah, I'll buy you a cupcake.
Go wherever if you're buying.
Yeah.
Who's going to start us off today? Is everybody getting the bat, fellas?
Go ahead, Rob.
Right here.
Coach, you go from 51 points to 90 points. That was a pretty good defensive team. Just what was the biggest difference?
Well, you know what, Rob? I don't know. I didn't think that would be that kind of game. I really thought the game would be in the 60s both ways, and because both, as you mentioned it. But you know, you think about it. They had I thought, a pretty good offensive night too. We had better ball movement. I thought we played with more speed. I think we got to continue to play, and not just speed, getting the ball down the floor, speed in the half court, moving the ball, cutting. We spread it out a little bit, and we, again, I thought for the most part we took open shots. And when we didn't, or when we got careless with the ball, they made us pay. But overall, it was just, again, we knew they would press. I think they kind of react to you if you're being aggressive against their little three-quarter court press. I think they back it up a little bit. If you're being tentative, they get hungrier and go after it. Then at the end of the game, when they're behind, we knew, I mean, they got to go. They got to come after it. And we just made some really poor decisions with the ball when we had a chance to really put the game away earlier. But give them credit because they're not going to stop playing.
Ryan, then Grant, then Mike.
Are you seeing Josiah play as complete as the game in his 3 years?
I thought the way he got started offensively was one of his best games ever. I love the way he took the ball hard to the basket on that layup. I think he took maybe one dribble when he was in stride, maybe two, stretched out, made that layup. And, you know, Joe always gives you a good floor game. He got in foul trouble tonight, mainly because he was helping where we had breakdown from the perimeter, when he was at the 4 some, and when we went with the small lineup. But we need him playing like that.
Is that
Hold on, Grant.
is that aggressiveness on the offensive end as good as you've seen it this year?
Yeah, that's what. And again, that's what we've been wanting all year. We've been talking about playing with force, playing with speed, having that because we don't want to come down and have to grind it out. We don't want to put that much pressure on anybody, whether perimeter or post guys, and some teams are going to make you do it, but you can still play with speed, moving the ball, quickness, as opposed to getting in a big hurry. And when we get careless, like we did with some of those passes, it's careless. I can't say anything else about it. And it's when guys get sped up that shouldn't get sped up, especially in the post. I mean, they did exactly what we knew they would do, and I don't know why our post guys kept turning, thinking they're going to dribble the ball. We said, you're not going to be able to do that. And they held the ball to it. That's the one area that I did not think we would turn the ball over with tonight, because we had some action set up for that, and our post guys just had too many turnovers and there were people on the floor that they could have gotten it to.
On that note, did you like what Olivier gave you tonight, rebounding wise, and then how nice to see Justin get in there and do what he did?
Again, and I told Justin, I told the people out there that are fans that, you know, Justin would play a lot more if he'd shoot the ball when he's open. Again, tonight he turned it over twice where he's too good a ball handler. But the first turnover he had in the game, he should have shot the ball as soon as he hit his hand. I mean, he was just like he came in, but those were two really big threes that he hit because they had gotten it down to 2 or 3, and those were big. And again, at the end of the game, we made a couple plays defensively too. Zakai made a couple there. Kennedy came up with some. Josiah's got his hands on a lot of balls tonight, and we need those deflections. But we've got guys, again, one, it's hard to play at this level if you're casual. If you play casual, you're not going to be effective. You've got to play with intensity, knowing that you're playing against guys that are going to ball hawk. They're going to go after the ball, especially this team. We're getting ready to play against another one that's going to go after it and going to put a lot of pressure on you, not let you get too comfortable. So it gets back to valuing the basketball, and we felt going in tonight that if we would take care of the basketball, take open shots, and we could score some points, and we did.
Ben and then Madison.
Just with Olivier offensively, I mean, do you think it was a byproduct of him just not thinking a ton and just kind of going?
Absolutely, and when Olivier can shoot the ball, he's a really good mid-range player. But then I don't know why, after he gets it, he hesitates and he puts it down. Again, if you hesitate, again, you hesitate, they're coming to get the ball. They'll wait until you bounce, but if you hold it and then think, okay, now I'm going to go, they're just waiting on you. And then he's got to stop leaving his feet to pass the ball. He's got to get the ball over his head quicker when he wants to shoot it. But the more he plays, the better he's going to get, and the more he can be in those situations. That even at the end, I mean, again, I don't know why he jumped to throw that pass. I don't, because he can score the ball. He's a really good shooter, both inside the arc and outside the arc.
Coach, you talk about not dribbling too much and having good offensive spacing and moving the ball. 22 assists on 29 made field goals. What was the offensive mindset coming into tonight's game?
Well, that's when we're at our best, when the ball doesn't stick and we're really moving the ball, when we're getting it from side to side and getting movement. It's hard to guard. I mean, we talk about it ourselves in practice when we are playing at that clip, and then when we're sharing the ball like that, not having anyone that's a ball stopper. That's when we're going to be at our best. And tonight, I thought again, other than some of those turnovers, we really played a nice game on the offensive end.
Karthik?
Hey coach, they trimmed that thing down to 60 to 59 there in the second half, and you guys responded with a 16-2 run. What changed?
Well, again, I think you can go back to our game Saturday. You know, the game's never over, and so if you relax, you get casual, it can close really quick. What I did like about our guys, they didn't flinch. You know, they responded. That's what I did like. But we did get casual when we got up, just, you know, leaving our feet to throw passes, just getting tunnel vision on certain things. But the fact is, I'm not sure what everybody else thinks, but when you've been in basketball as long as everybody has and played, the game is never over. I mean, and we should know that ourselves from Saturday. But the fact is, when we had to respond, we did.
Waiting on questions? Wes and Grant?
Rick, I know you sort of mentioned this a little bit earlier, but to score 90 points in a game where Santi only takes 8 shots and he's getting hounded a lot, but other guys are able to step up and do things. How big is that for the confidence of this team to do something like that?
Well, it is I think it helps when Olivier does what he does tonight. You know, and if John would get back to just being that simple, you know, if he's open, shoot the ball. If he would do that, I think the more balance we have with our team, we're going to be better. Where we don't have to rely on, say, the guards to go get it done all the time. And so if we'll just, again, guys would, I tell you, it really is as simple as doing what we ask you to do in practice and carrying it over to a game. Because I do think we put these guys in the right position to score. They've got to be ready to do it, and there's nothing wrong with taking a wide open 15, 17-foot shot. And that's what we want from them. That's what we want. And if they didn't, and we would tell them not to shoot it, but we haven't told guys. I mean, they're getting better at knowing when, even on the kick-out threes from offensive rebounds. I thought VJ made a great play, one of his best plays he's ever made. He had a chance to shoot a three. He tucked it and went and dunked the ball. And those, I tell you what, the last games before that, he would have shot that and not thought anything about it. And that's, again, we've told him since he's been here, he's more than just a spot-up shooter. He is. And the fact that he can go score the ball like that was huge. And the more we can get guys understanding what they're really good at, the better we'll be.
How important was it for Victor to carry over those last 5 minutes to Texas to have
I think
energy tonight?
I think it was, Grant. Again, we're going to, I say it every game, we're going to need all those guys. We can't have anybody that's going to play. If they're lethargic, they're not going to play. And we know our guys. We know what they're going to bring to us. We know their body languages. We can read them just like you can read a book. And if we don't think they're locked in, we're not tuned in, we are going to go to the next guy. And we're hoping that guy's going to be ready. And by this time, when you're in February, if you're not ready to play every single night, you really don't deserve to play. Because we've practiced enough, we've talked about it enough, and now you got to be ready or you can't play.
How pleasing was it to win the rebounding battle against a team that really prides itself on that?
It was important, and you go back, we knew it would be like that. You know, we started the game, their first 2 threes came off offensive rebounds. One of them was a long one. I don't think we could have got it even if we had a perfect blackout, but the next one we didn't. We saw 3 guys just turn, and they do a good job. They're not going to lay on your back. You know, they play hard, they're aggressive, they're well coached. They're not going to be, if you block it out, if you block them out and think they're just going to stop, they really slide off and go get it. They did that, and then But overall, the fact that we were able to, I think we won it by one is key.
Last one.
You guys had 2 turnovers out of timeouts or dead ball situations today. I think there were a couple at Texas as well. Why does that happen? I mean, is that just a lack of focus, or what does that go back to?
Yeah, I do think it's a lot. I think it's being casual. I think that it's being totally casual and understanding that every possession matters. They all matter. And you come out like at the end of the half, we call that timeout. Shots got to get up, and you're not going to get it all the way to the rim against good teams. You know, it's designed to get a 15-foot shot. If they collapse, we'll get a hammer or a kick out there. But if you think you're going to go to the basket and throw those inside drop-offs, it's not going to happen. And in that point in time, we had exactly what we wanted. We went for a 2-for-1 situation where we came down early, and remember Santi, Joe set a really nice fade and got Santi a great look with quick as 50-some seconds, and then we had what we wanted, but we got to get a shot. And, you know, it's those plays, you know, when we run things, you've got to come out like even there at the end when they give them credit for tying us up. But guys we talked about that today. You're going to have to make more than one cut when the team's desperate. They're not going to let you just make a simple little cut, get open, and nobody's going to ever be wide open. You got to know there's a window there that you've got to get it in, and if you don't, it's not getting in. But we've got to get better. I don't, as a staff, we don't like it when we come out of after timeouts and not execute, because that is the one time of the game you've got to have great execution.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you guys.